Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Minecraft. It is episode 108, and I am recording this 5 days, just 5 days after I recorded the previous episode. So I'm kind of building a little bit of a stockpile. Last episode I matched the pace of what I was doing, which was like 2 episodes a month, which I feel comfortable doing. Like I think I like that this series is like 2 episodes a month. It's just enough time to just see a bunch of things happen in life and then talk about them NBA wise, culture wise, even though I don't really comment on things in culture generally other than like intro bits. And I had an intro bit for this episode that I just scrapped. It had to do with a trial of someone that was in the news recently, so I'll let you draw your own conclusion from that. All the jokes have been said, but it's like it probably isn't a situation that should be joked about, but it was just like one thing that was like singled out that a lot of people on Twitter memed on when details first came out, so I'll just leave that to the imagination. I didn't. It wasn't that good, but I don't know. That's the thing about doing this series for too long, right? It's like I don't want to repeat freaking things I've done before, me personally, but I also don't want to like, I don't know. I don't want to just talk about things in like a blank situation is crazy type format, like I really don't, man. That's not me. That's the thing. And that's the thing, if I do ever talk about something like that or similar to that, you wouldn't really know about it because I named the episode Minecraft part 100 whatever, and then I like have a title that's like referencing a book or an anime. It's like, yeah, I don't know, it's nice. I wonder if people, like, what was that episode? Episode 106, right? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm gonna look back on that episode and then I'm gonna be like, wait, oh, yeah, I forgot. That episode is a reference to an anime. The episode title is a reference to an anime I watched. It's like, I really like that, Yeah. Last episode, I wanted it to be titled after an anime, which I will talk about in this episode, but I just felt that if I just mentioned it in the last minute, it wouldn't really make sense. So I just used the title of a book instead. So yeah. Another thing is that like Daria episodes, usually have that kind of naming convention, where it's like it's reference after literature a lot of times, like Through a Lens, Darkly. I might get to that a bit later on in this episode because surprisingly this is going to be a relatively NBA free episode. Okay, let me just get the small things out of the way right now. Summer League is happening. Haven't really watched games. Cooper Flag debuted, Ace Bailey debuted, VJ Edgecombe debuted. Ace Bailey kind of had a lackluster debut. VJ Edgecombe had a really, really good debut, but he has a sprained thumb. So yeah, and then Cooper Flag debuted against Bronny, of all players, right? Bronny played some good defense on him. I was listening to a podcast and they were talking like, maybe Bronny could become a good pro, but I don't know. Side note, I promise I will not talk about basketball the whole episode or even like over 15 minutes, I promise. But I don't know. What is like gonna be a career for Bronny, Like what is gonna be, like I've thought about this over and over, like as the season went along last season, right? Where it's like, I don't know, like, is he going to stay in the NBA after LeBron retires, Like, what is talking about Bronny gonna be like after LeBron retires? Because it's, I don't know. It's like, you don't want to be overly cynical about these things, but, like, I feel like in retrospect, a lot of people can agree that a lot of why Bronny was a storyline was because it was the one of the greatest players of all time is old enough that his son can get drafted, maybe with or without his help, but, his son can get drafted and then he can play with his son, like that's basically the story of Bronny so far, But I don't know. It would be interesting to see if Bronny can crack like an NBA rotation, I don't know. I don't think Bronny is long for being on the Lakers, post LeBron retiring, where they're building the team around Luka, right? If they're building around the team around Luka, and it's we want to build a championship contending team, is Bronny gonna take up a roster spot? Dude, yeah, I don't know. That's the thing I'm practically thinking about, but I don't know. Yeah, I think it's Bronny can. I feel like Bronny can be a bench player, but it's does anyone see Bronny being a starting caliber player in his career? It's not. Yeah, not in any way disrespecting him, but it's the whole thing. Obviously, we know that he had a heart scare, a heart incident when he was at USC that derailed his playing career there. Yeah, we know. I understand that. Yeah, it's a serious thing, but I don't know. It's just yeah. I mean, I feel like a lot of people also would say that for his development, he probably should have stayed one more season at USC. Oh man. Yeah. Did I also mention? Yeah, I promise I will get off of basketball. I promise. But one thing I didn't talk about was that Gilbert Arenas' son, a month or 2 months ago, Elijah Arenas got into a car accident, right? I remember seeing that notification before I was in class, and it kind of was yeah, oh damn. He was I saw it on Reddit, and it said that he was in a hospital with a coma. Yeah. But it turns out that it was just he didn't sustain any real injuries. It was just that he was just inhaling a lot of smoke. So yeah, when the car crashed, so that's why he was in a coma. And also he was in a Tesla Cybertruck. So make of that what you will. just a detail. So yeah. I don't know. I remember that notification coming up on my phone when that happened, and it being
oh shit.
That's yeah. I was kind of shook up by that. Yeah. Yeah, and also for Gilbert Arenas, if you know him, just not taking anything too seriously, making a joke out of things, and this being a pretty serious thing that happened. It's good that his son, who is projected to be a good college player, he reclassified, so he graduated this year instead of next year when he was actually supposed to graduate. So if he ends up becoming a one and done player, he can be in the 2026 draft, but I don't know. I knocked my headset a little bit. I don't know what's gonna be. Yeah, I don't know what his future is gonna be. Okay, all right. Oh man. Okay. Anyways. Yeah, let me think of some quick transactions off the top of my head. The Miami Heat basically stole Norman Powell from the Clippers, and that improves their team. And then Kyle Anderson, another player went to the Utah Jazz. Yeah. Duncan Robinson, right? Yeah, they turned the Miami Heat turned Duncan Robinson, who has a really good story. Yeah, he was undrafted from the G League. He debuted at 24 years old for the Heat. Yeah. He got called Jimmy Neutron in the 2020 finals. Had $100 million contract basically off of his 3-point shooting ability alone, right? A great story of Heat culture, a great example of Heat culture. He's not on the Heat anymore. And then, the Heat have Norman Powell, which improves their team a lot. And then the Clippers have John Collins. So the Clippers got John Collins from the Jazz. It was a 3-team trade. Yeah. There we go. So little transaction that happened. I recently saw today that Cole Anthony, there was a trade between the Grizzlies and the Magic. Desmond Bane went to the Magic for 3 first-round picks, basically. Yeah, Desmond Bane to the Magic for 3 first-round picks. And then the Grizzlies in return got KCP and maybe someone else. Yeah, that was basically the root of the trade, is that it was Desmond Bane for the draft picks and then KCP to the Grizzlies. So, yeah. Oh man, any other thing, man, from Summer League or transaction that I missed? Yeah, Cole Anthony signed with the Bucks after clearing waivers, after getting a buyout from the Grizzlies. Hopefully there's gonna be another buyout story coming concerning another player. Okay. Oh my god, I need to check my time. Okay. Oh my god. It already says it's like 16 minutes, but yeah, I don't think it's necessarily at that point yet in the final recording. Oh man, I have a few minutes. Any other last minute things I want to say? The WNBA All-Star teams got revealed. Yeah. All I know, most of what I know is that Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark became All-Star starters, so that's cool. Yeah. That's basically, yeah, I don't know the full All-Star team, so yeah, I just was hearing Nekias Duncan and Steve Jones Jr. talk about them, so I'll just leave that for now. But should I talk about another incident that happened recently that's somewhat tangentially, that's somewhat WNBA related, concerning a cover of a video game? Man. It's I don't know, man. It's just, yeah, just people should just stop, this whole, like, racist and misogynist, push against Angel Reese. It's just not good, man. It's just not good. And then, it's just that whole, part. And then the whole thing behind, again, it's fueling, her, the competition / rivalry that is necessary to drive ratings in some people's eyes of her. And then Caitlin Clark, it's like, oh god, it's just, yeah. There was a really offensive thing posted on social media of like someone because Angel Reese was like the cover athlete for 2K26. Man, it's just not good. It's horrible. Yeah, it's not a good thing, man. And then someone who has usually been known to criticize Angel Reese has come to her defense. He's like, yeah, this man, Robert Griffin III, he's swooping in like the hero he is. He's like, look, I have criticized Angel Reese plenty, but this has gone too far, okay? And then Angel Reese's own family, like her own family on Twitter is like, look, we don't need you in this, man. We don't need you defending our family. We don't need you defending her like this. He got shot down from Angel Reese's own family on Twitter, man. Man. So yeah, I guess that's an interesting thing I wanted to mention. Anything else? Last minute, man. Yang Hansen may actually be living up to the Chinese Jokic title. Okay, all right. Am I done? Okay. Oh man, let me look at my board, man. What did I outline for this episode? Tony Hawk? Oh, look at that. Should I talk about Tony Hawk, the person? Yeah, Tony Hawk, in terms of the video game on the PS2. Yeah, I talked about it like a couple episodes ago, but it's better if I just show you. So, all right. Okay. Thank God I didn't have to pay for this game, man. New video games are like $80. Okay. Let me check some things. Yeah. This is what I love about, yeah. This is what I love about friggin' switching these games. So, yeah. Let me first start off. Let me see. End run, quit. I played a little bit. It came out like 2 days ago. Okay, let me see. Look at this, man. Look at this. Remember when I played, if anyone saw that episode where I played a little bit of the 1 and 2 remastered? There's 3 and 4 remastered came out a couple days ago. It's what I'm playing right now. And look at who this is, man. Marjolin. I'm sorry, I do not know how to pronounce her name. Marjolin Diddle. I don't know. I'm sorry. I do not know how to pronounce her name. But remember when I said I created a Filipina skater? Remember when I said I did? I created one, man. I created one out of thin air. you know, tinking, you know, and then they literally put one in the game, man. I literally did not know she existed until like 20 minutes ago when I was playing this before I started to record. So, yeah, she was the first Filipino to join the X Games in 2018, winning a gold medal in the Asian Games that year and 2 more in the 2019 Southeast Asian Games. Holy. Ah, man. Yeah, there's a lot of new, like, young skaters, yeah. Raisa Leal, yeah, Raisa Leal's from Brazil. Chloe Cavill is from Australia. There's another one that isn't in here. Yeah, Arissa True. Like, she's 14, I think. I think she's either 14 or 15. And, like, yeah, like, there's so much young, like, talent in terms of, like, women's skateboarding. Like, yeah, I talked about this before, right? Of, like, there's just so much, yeah, there's so many, like, young, like, female skaters who are, like, under the age of 18 even, you know? Yeah, some of them are from Australia, some of them are from Japan, you know? Yeah, here's the skaters that are in here, that are new, man. Look at that. Yeah, Tony Hawk, not that new, but yeah. Here are the classic ones. Rodney Mullen, he does, like, these manual tricks, if you ever look him up. Yeah, they're cool. Chad Muska, Alyssa Steamer, Eric Costin, oh man, Kareem Campbell, Bob Burnquist, Arlen Giraud, repping Lyon, France, huh? Yeah, and here's like the newer ones, yeah, right, yeah, Tony Hawk's son. I don't know if I went over him last time. This is Tony Hawk's oldest son, right? Yeah. Oh man. Here's all the players, yeah. I showed these off last time. I showed Leo Baker off last time, right? Yeah. And Lizzie Armanto's here again, and she has red hair instead of blue hair. But look how just cool this is, man. Look at this cool. Look how cool. Look at this cool. Look how cool this is. And look at her board, too. Look at her freaking board, man. Oh, man. I'm gonna play. Yeah, let me just free skate a little here. This is also a song that was in Pro Skater 4, by the way. Yeah, I guess another thing I want to talk about is the soundtrack, because, like, I played a little bit of this yesterday, and, like, the soundtrack is insane. Like, the soundtrack is purely, like, the amount of music and diversity in the soundtrack, man. Let me just, like, scroll through. Yeah, this is a band called Fireworks. Motorhead, yeah, they have the classic songs. They have Ace of Spades back in here from Pro Skater 3. Oh, man. Yeah, they have a few songs, and there's like some artists where they don't have the original song that was in the original game, but they have a different song by them. Like Sex Pistols, Anarchy in the UK was in Pro Skater 4, and now they have a different song by them here. Yeah, it's just cool, man. There's, yeah, and also, yeah, let me just show it off right here. I don't know if I can get to it. It's all you can, like, yeah, but yeah, let me see this playlist. There's 100 gecs in this soundtrack. 100 gecs is in the soundtrack of a Tony Hawk game, along with Alice in Chains and Bad Brains. And then, yeah, this song is here. Oh man, Danny Brown, De La Soul. Yeah, this song, the most iconic song from Pro Skater 3 in my opinion, is here. Oh my god, there's just so much. Fontaine's DC, you know? Oh my god, Idols. Jeff Rosenstock, man. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Holy. Lupe Fiasco. Yeah, I could just go on and on, man. It's a lot. This soundtrack is insane, man. This soundtrack, like, I don't know. And also, I was, like, looking at it. Yeah, I was, like, listening. I watched an interview with Tony Hawk, like, back from when he was promoting the game. And he, like, said how, like, involved he was in, like, the soundtrack. And, like, you can tell, man. There's also, like, another song here where it's, like, a Tony Hawk singing karaoke of a song. Like, I don't know, man. It's, like, it's, like, I don't know. It's also a thing that, like, I remember playing, like, this game when I was, like, under 10 years old, man, on the PlayStation 2. And, like, to see this map, like, this level, like, remade like this in 2025, man, I don't know. It's I don't know. Something, man. It makes me feel like I'm getting old, man. I really am. I'm old. I'm a little bit old, man. Oh, man. It's cool. It's cool. So I guess I just wanted to shout out all the cool stuff about this game. Oh, man. Yeah, anything else to say about it? I could just, yeah. There's a song called New Wage Slavery here. Yeah. Also in that same interview, Tony Hawk was talking about this song and like how like yeah, there's the popular fan thing that like a lot of people who played this game as a kid thought they were singing Tony Hawk's name in the song. It's like I feel like that's a rite of passage, man. It's a rite of passage. Like thinking they're saying Tony Hawk and not Amoeba. Oh man, I don't know. It's cool, man. It's cool. Yeah, man. I don't know. Is there anything else? Is there anything else I need to show off in this game? I guess I could just go like change levels, you know? Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna go to Canada. Yeah, and also the way they redid this, yeah, and like putting like the snow, you know, the snow on like the various pools and such. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just cool. Is there anything else to say about it? I guess this is like me informally doing like the little video of this game, you know. So I don't think I'm gonna make like a separate video on this game. I'll just like include this as a segment in it. So it'll still be titled Minecraft, but it'll be there'll be a more than small segment of me playing this game. Oh man, it's cool. Yeah, I don't know where they can go from here in terms of like remastering stuff. I don't know. Would they ever get to like Underground and Underground 2? Because like the Underground 2 was also like the iconic game that I grew up playing. It was Pro Skater 3, Pro Skater 4, and then Underground 2 for me. Yeah, I didn't have Underground 1, and I didn't play it until like I was like 15 or 16, and I bought it off of eBay. And I didn't play American Wasteland until like early 2016, which had a song on there with from my favorite band of all time. Oh man, it's a lot, man. It kind of sounds like they're saying Tony Hawk. I don't know. I don't know if you can hear it, you know? I'll take the copyright claim or whatever, but yeah. It kind of does. And it's also a thing that, like, because of the 2-minute timer, right? Like, I never got to hear, like, the second half of this song. Like, this song goes on for a bit longer, yeah, than 2 minutes. Oh, man. Yeah, can I do a Christ air real fast? Yeah. Oh. Oh, no. Off the map. Stay out of the lake. Oh, man. Man, how would my life be different if you know, I grew up in Canada rather than the US, man? I don't know. Would I enjoy that, though? Domix, you know? Have his lifestyle? I don't know, man. I mean, he didn't only live in Canada, but... Oh, okay. I don't know. I'm just enjoying this game. I have to talk about other stuff, but yeah. They can show off one more level here. Yeah, there's also a photo mode. I've been taking photos recently, so yeah. But I don't know, there isn't like a take photo option that I found like inside the mode, because I guess you have to use the actual Xbox controller or whatever controller you're using or something to like actually take a photo. So I could do it like that. I press it on the controller rather than, I don't know. Oh man. I've been taking some photos. Yeah, that's a new feature that got added for this version, I think. Oh my god, like a late back foot heel flip. Yeah, is that basically all I want to talk about with this? Oh, there we go, I did it. Okay. Alright, I guess that's basically, yeah, that's basically that. It's fine. It's fine, man. I just like how I can do that, you know? Yeah, that's something I like about playing this version, you know, on this console specifically, is that I can switch around. I'm sure I can do it on the PS5 too, but yeah, not on. I mean, I don't think I can put in the PS4 edition disc in the PS5 though. I don't think I can do that. Maybe I can. I don't know. So I guess that's that segment done. It's really cool. I learned a new skater about a new skater from the Philippines. That's cool. Oh man. Anyways. Yeah, okay, I'm looking at my board. The next thing I want to talk about, I've been reading a novel. The latest novel I'm reading, so I'm getting back to it. Yeah, now that I think done with my book list for now, I can go back to just talking about the book I've been reading like recently. I usually like to do it when I'm like done, but yeah, I mean this book is gonna end up in my list. So last episode I talked about two books, Leche by R. Zamora Lindmark and Shark Teeth by Sherry Winston, that are guaranteed to end up on my list of best books of the year that I read in the year 2025. Not that came out this year. I'm not that I'm not that much of a reader. Okay, like I don't know. I do not know how high Great Big Beautiful Life would end up on that list if I did read it in this year, but. Yeah, those books are probably going to make my top 10 list at the end of the year. But this book is probably going to make it too. It's called The Lesbiana's Guide to Catholic School by Sonora Reyes. Okay, so what is this book about? Let me... Hopefully me talking about books from my list has trained me. It's about this girl... this girl named Yamilet. This girl named Yamilet, and she got outed by her best friend, who is not her best friend anymore, Bianca. So before the book starts, she confessed her feelings or something of that. She came out to her best friend, Bianca, and then Bianca did not take kindly to that. And then they're not friends anymore. And Yamilet holds very strong negative feelings towards her. And that's how the book, and that is like how the book starts. It's not shown in the book, but yeah, that's where she starts off the book. And yeah, she's very close to her, she's very close to her younger, her brother, who's like close in age, Caesar, right? And they together start going to this Catholic school after after transferring from a public school where I would assume Bianca is, and then Caesar also was getting into fights at public school. So they start their high school junior year, I think, at this Catholic school, and it's all about adjusting to being in a Catholic school, and Yami being a lesbian in a Catholic school. But obviously, since it's a Catholic school, she cannot say that. But she sees someone, she quickly befriends someone who is openly gay at that Catholic school, called Bo, who is this Asian girl who has adopted parents, and she's a lesbian, and she's openly challenging the school administration and her teachers, right? There's a scene early in the book where they're supposed to be debating, and one of the topics chosen is gay marriage. Should gay marriage be legal? And this book takes place in the 2020s, by the way. It's not before. It's not before gay marriage was legalized. And then Bo is gay marriage is legal. What do you mean? Yeah. So I think you can tell where it would go from here. It's a coming of age romance thing. It won the Pura Belpre Award. It has that stamp on it. And then it was a National Book Award finalist for 2022. And I think for YA, the winner of it was Last Night at the Telegraph Club. I might be. Yeah. I think that was the winner for 2022. Yeah, or 2023. I might be mixing up the years, but yeah. In conclusion, it's a great book, and I'm only halfway through it. So yeah, I don't think there would be anything in the second half of the book that would lead me to think it's not going to be on my 10 favorites of the year. That I read in the year 2025. So yeah, there you go. There you go. Wow, very succinct, huh? I did not use the word extremely, right? Hopefully I didn't. Hopefully I did not. Oh man, nice little topic I got out of the way. Anything else small that I want to add? I noticed when I was talking about the books on the list that I have a habit of just spoiling stuff, but it's just, I'm just like saying like stuff I like from the book, I like it when people can name specific details like of what they like from the book, I guess one detail that's not too spoilery is are the titles of the chapters. The book has chapter titles, which is great. I name every chapter in every book I write. So yeah, points for that, first of all. But the naming convention of the chapters, not really like my naming convention where it's like it's a reference to a book or an anime. The naming convention of the chapters, since it's called The Lesbiana's Guide to Catholic School, is that each chapter is written like it's a commandment. So like there's the chapter I just read is thou shalt make unto thee a fat wallet, and then there's another chapter that was called thou shalt mind thine own business, bitch. It's like, that's a cool thing. That's a nice detail, isn't it? That's cool. I don't know. I just I don't really watch people talk about books that much, but I don't know. I like it when you can just pinpoint specific details about books, or just like works of like, that you really like, that's a specific thing I really like. I really like how, it's cohesive. It fits into the theme of it being Catholic school. So each chapter title is written like it's a commandment, and it's fun, it's so nice. Yeah. There's also a lot of other stuff with like Yami's character, and like her family. Her father was deported. She saw one of her friends, parents get deported, or one of her, something like that at a party she went to before the story starts. There's that stuff in it. It takes place in Arizona. So I would assume that's somewhat prescient, right? I would assume it's always prescient, but yeah, maybe even now it's a bit more prescient than it was. It's a thing, it's yeah. Her brother Caesar has this phrase that's traces all the way back to the ancient Mayans, called in Lakesh. In Lakech. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I tried 3 different pronunciations, but yeah, it basically means same, or I feel you, we're the same. It's a phrase from a poem. So, it's a way he keeps in touch with his heritage, beyond being Mexican, the short story in the Sandra Cisneros short story, One Holy Night, where the male in it, where it's a young girl being fooled by a guy who said that, or who was rumored, or he had said that he believed, I guess, that he had blood that traced back to the Aztecs or something like that. I don't know. It's really cool, it's yeah, just those are the small details I like about it, and I'm only halfway through it. So yeah, that's basically that book. So yeah, am I gonna take a little bit of a break? I just usually just need a little bit to make my voice fresher. So yeah, I guess I'll take a little bit of a break and then talk about the rest of the stuff for this episode that is not basketball related. So there you go. Here is that part coming up. So the next thing I want to get to in this episode is a list segment. I might do 2 lists, but actually keep that promise. So yeah, I talked at the end of the last episode that I I expanded my list of favorite anime of all time to 40 spots. So I talked about the first 20 in that original episode when I did it. So yeah, it's probably 4 or 5 episodes ago at this point. So here is my top anime number 21 through 40. I don't know how long I'm gonna spend on this, but at least like, a few sentences on each, but I'm gonna take extra special attention to number 21 because I guess I'm just gonna roll that into this list segment because I wanted to talk about it in the last episode, but it was approaching 2 hours and I had to cut it at some point. Okay. So here is the continuation of the list, but number 21, I think it's going to be a little bit longer. Okay, number 21, the most recent entry on my list of favorite anime of all time. I finished it just like a week and a half ago. A Place Further Than the Universe. Okay, all right. Prepare for this to be like, hopefully not like the rest of the episode, but, a bit longer than me talking about the other entries. All right, what is A Place Further Than the Universe? Where is that place? Antarctica. Okay. All right. This show came out in the winter of 2018, and 2018 was the year that I started to get a little bit back into watching anime regularly. If I am to reveal stuff about myself, so I think the first anime I ever watched, I could name it, but it's I don't know. I think to simplify things, I feel like the first anime I watched like front to back was this series called Death Note. I don't know if you've heard of it. But also, Samurai Champloo and Psycho Pass. That was what I was watching in like 2014. And then I took like a bit of a break. And then, didn't watch that many series for a while. I watched like a couple other series. But I came back to watching anime in the winter of 2018. I don't know. To name all the shows I've watched, it's a lot. But I don't know. In 2018, in everyone's year-end lists, people were talking about this show. I watched like a couple AniTubers like Giguk talk about this show and this series and how special it was. And then I don't know, when I was like watching a bunch of anime in 2019 and 2020, 2021, like I knew of this show's status and like that everyone considered it like really, really good, but I just never got around to watching it. And I think like in the latter half and like the past couple years, it was just because that I knew it was a show I was gonna like, so I guess I was just putting it off. But it soon became just like putting it off for just no valid reason. So I finally got around to watching it this year. So I just recently finished it as of just recently. And this is one of the best anime series of all time. It really is. Number 21 on my list, but it definitely could be higher considering when I look at the rest of the list, it definitely could be higher. Like, I don't know, it could be top 10 if I really want to think about it, Maybe it can take Death Note's spot. Maybe it can take it. And Death Note is number 11 out of 40 on my list. But I don't know. For now, I guess I'm fine keeping it here. Like, everything above it is like a great freaking series in my eyes, Like, above it is The Dangers in My Heart, Chihiafuru, Hanasaka Iraha, Bang Dream, It's My Go, and Girls Band Cry, Kimi ni Todoke, March Comes In Like a Lion, Samurai Champloo, Gintama, Honey and Clover, Nana. It's like, all just like my series that I'm like, no, these are like certifiably fantastic, amazing shows, So, I guess that's all prelude to talking about what the series is. Okay, so what genre is this series? A lot of people would say that this show is what you call a moe show. If people who aren't that into anime, a moe show is basically where the show, it's a series where the characters, all of the main characters in like the cast of characters are like usually high school age girls that look cute and do things that are cute, you know, like have tea, or like they're in a club and they do cute things, you know. They join a band, for instance, that's K-On. They make art, that's Hidamari Sketch. They have very they have very suggestive interactions. That's Yuru Yuri, which I'll get to. They go camping. That's Yuru Camp, you know? Like, yeah, like they talk about random otaku stuff. That's Lucky Star, you know? It's like all of these are like different, you know? Like all of they're different, but essentially they're bound by the core principle of like these shows are all about cute high school aged girls doing cute things. Now, what makes this series different? It is that these the cast of this show are four cute high school aged cutely designed high school aged girl characters, right? And they become friends throughout the course of the series, right? And then the different thing is that while I guess it can be categorized as a moe show, a cute girls doing cute things show, it is a show where they don't do cute frickin' things. They do amazing things, if I'm paraphrasing Giguk in that video, you know? It's like they go on a journey to Antarctica. How do they do that? What is the practicality of that? How is that in any way realistic? Well, they the show tries to explain it as realistically as possible. It tries to answer it like the writer of the series, Juki Hanada, who also wrote like a bunch of really great series, like for a bunch of great series like Sound Euphonium and like Love Live Sunshine and stuff like that, you know. Girls Band Cry most recently. So like it's written in a way where it's like it does its absolute best to explain like here is how it would actually be done. So like the girls get, you know, they become friends with each other, and then they become part of this expedition where they're just only now accepting like high school aged crew members, right? Because they go to Antarctica by way of like an expedition that is like funded, publicly funded, privately funded, I don't know. And then that's how they go. They get on a ship, and then they go all the way from Australia. They fly from Japan to Singapore, and then from Singapore to Australia, and then the boat departs from Australia all the way to Antarctica. So, it's about them taking that journey through the course of 13 episodes, and they spend the first 5 episodes not in Antarctica. They spend the first 5 episodes meeting each other and like preparing for the journey, and then episode 6 onward is them taking that journey. And it's a journey. That's the thing. That's what makes this series so special, is that you follow these characters on a journey, you know, that is life-changing. You know, it's all because of this, like the main character, Mari, right? The main character is like her mindset is, I'm in my second year of high school. I'm like 15, 16 years old, and I haven't done anything special yet. Like, I need to do something special. I want to go on a journey. I want to go on she doesn't originally think that, but like initially she's like, I want to go on a trip, and then like it's like, I'm gonna go to Tokyo because they're not in Tokyo. So she's like, I want to go to Tokyo. That's something that can be life-changing, right? And then she just chickens out of it. But she eventually, you know, she gets to be a part of this as the main character, and then she finds this other girl who has saved up a million yen, which is basically like 100 grand or something. No, not 100 grand, probably like 10 or 15 grand in that range. So she saved up that much money from working odd jobs like convenience stores, fast food, probably like being an assistant. You know, she saved up that much money because the girl she meets, Shirase, I think, her mother was part of a previous Antarctic expedition, and she did not return from that expedition. So she wants to go to Antarctica for, basically her mother. And her mother wrote a book called A Place Further Than the Universe, referencing Antarctica, how it is a place further than the universe. You can see the motivations here. They meet another girl who works at a convenience store who has her own motivations of, like, she quit high school and, like, she was basically outcasted by all of her former friends who aren't her friends anymore. And then they meet another girl who has been this child actress, right? Who's like, and then she basically doesn't have any friends, and the friends that the quote friends that she tried to make earlier on only cared about her because of her status, and that's it. So she basically has no true friends. And then they meet each other, become friends. There's all this good, really good character writing and characterization and backstory and drama associated with it and comedy associated with it, and like it sets up their interactions really well. And then throughout the journey, like there are details and stuff they go through that relates to their backstories really well, right? Oh man, it's just brilliant, That's the thing. Yeah, and the larger point of this is like it kind of, like I kind of in my mind am thinking of like people who aren't really anime fans, who even are anime fans, but just like are the types to watch stuff like Jujutsu Kaisen or Chainsaw Man, which I enjoyed. I also watched that recently. It's a really good series. I really enjoyed the TK from Ling Tasite Segure ED. Oh god, that's a really good one. First Death, yeah. Like I enjoyed that series, but it's like I don't know. It's like, that's the thing. It's like, if you were to ask me what I enjoyed more, Chainsaw Man or frickin' A Place Further Than the Universe, no frickin' debate. It's A Place Further Than the Universe, man. I don't know. Just this as a story. This is a personal frickin' story in the characters and the characterization and like the problems they deal with and the stuff they go through, right? I don't know. I feel like it would have hit me even harder like when I was like 21, It still hits hard, right? I feel like no matter what, right? Like the emotional moments in this series are earned, absolutely earned, and they hit you, man. It hits you, man. There are like a select few insert songs that play during these moments, and it like hits you every time, man. There's a scene in episode 12, man. Yeah, at the end of episode 12. That's just brilliant, man. Like, I don't know. I didn't tear up at it, I'll admit, I am on the record saying that I cried to a Morgan Matson book, okay? I cried reading Second Chance Summer at the end of that book, But there are, like, moments during this series, like, while I didn't fully cry, like, I was like, come on, man, why are you doing this, That's how I deal with, like, emotional moments. I'm just like, why do you have to do this? But, like, also inside, my heart, I'm just like, nah, this is really good, man. I almost said extremely. There you go. Miss me with that. It's like, yeah, like, that's the thing. I think of like the people who only watch anime for like, I like the popular frickin' stuff that's like, suited more towards frickin' just like primal instincts, more towards just like characters being cool and violence and stuff. Like, it's like you should also appreciate that, there are anime with these types of stories in it. And I feel like that those types of stories are what populate my list mostly, Like, I have Samurai Champloo in, like, the top 10 and Psychopaths in the top 10. Gintama maybe, like, but I don't know, like, everything else is just, like, yeah, it's the whole thing of just personal frickin' stories, man. This is a deeply personal and moving story about, people, yeah. More than people, it's just about the feeling of wanting an adventure in your life, Of the feeling of, like, maybe you're stuck in a rut. Maybe you haven't tried venturing out. Maybe you haven't done anything in your life resembling taking a risk. Like, why not just start now? Like, that's the whole, I feel like, larger message of it, Like, why not just start? Like, why not just, like, take a trip, Yeah, there's, like, a quote from one character, right, where it's like, it's not a journey if you know where you're gonna end up, Like, if it's not a journey, it doesn't become a journey unless you don't know where you're gonna go next, you know? Like, that's the thing, you know? It makes you think about that, of just like, you know, I guess it also works when you're older, right? If you're old, if as more time goes by in your life and you feel like you haven't done enough, you're right? Where it's like, yeah, no, definitely, I've thought about that. Yeah, definitely. Of just like, what are you doing? Yeah, like, what are you doing? Have you tried, you know, traveling, you know? And also, yeah, obviously not everyone has like the resources to travel, but yeah, I guess like relating it really personally, you know, I see people travel like when I browse social media, you know? Yeah, in terms of like my personal Instagram, it's like I see people travel like all the time, you know? Like people that I used to know, like that I used to go to high school with. It's just they're just like posting stuff of them, and they go traveling to foreign countries, you know, and like I went, yeah, like it recently, like me and my family like went to Hawaii. Like I spent like a brief time in Chicago for something. It's like, but like those are only like, yeah, that Chicago trip was only like one day at most, right? And that like trip in Hawaii was all the just the general like tourist stuff, you know. I never left the freaking Oahu, whatever it is, you know. Very touristy, just only like Honolulu, you know. It's like, yeah, that's the thing. It makes you, yeah, watching a place further than the universe like gives you that feeling of, you know, maybe your life is lacking adventure, man. Maybe your life can be changed by just, you know, something as simple as like taking a trip somewhere, you know. I think that's the thing, you know. That's the thing that I took from it, is that you going on a journey, it could just, you know, be significant, you know. And it's also the thing that even though they go as like four people who are friends, right, and like friendship and like analyzing and like breaking down like all the different types of friends and like variations of like who's being a good friend, who's being a bad friend, what's a good friendship look like, what's a bad friendship look like, you know, the you know, the strength of just forming a bond off of just one shared interest, you know, how quickly a friendship can form from that, you know. That's the thing. That's also another big theme of it. Yeah. And just what I get out of it is, you know, the you know, the value that taking a journey or like doing something like outside of your comfort zone can do for your life. And it doesn't have to mean freaking the craziest thing. It doesn't have to mean freaking, you know, like traveling the world, but it doesn't have to mean going to Antarctica. But those are the types of stories that that like I relate to the most, right? Where you can like relate to it in your own way, you know. Like, and also, I don't know, it somewhat like saddens me to think that there could be some people who are just purely turned off by it due to the fact that the main characters act like cute anime girls do, right? You know, quote, cute anime girls do, and they're just turned off by that, you know. Like serious people who read serious literature, like you know, I was about to name a book. It was by CH, okay? It was by CH. You know, I don't know. I'm too judgy. I'm sorry for being too judgy. Maybe that was the lesson in a place further than the universe. Don't be too judgy. One of the lessons. I'm sorry. But, you know, I don't know. I'm just thinking of like, I don't know, if there are people who just would be turned off by this type of series just because they don't like anime with freaking, you know, characters who act like the characters do in a place further than the universe. I don't know. I don't know. It somewhat disappoints me that there could be people who are like that, you know. I wish, you know, that's the whole thing, you know. When I was done watching it, I'm like, this is the Odyssey, you know? Like, isn't this basically the Odyssey, you know? Like, I don't know, like, not like, you know, word for word, not like team for team, but like, it's like a work of fiction that where it's like a grand journey, you know, a grand journey with stakes and, you know, personal human nature is explored and you know, analyzed, right? Like, it's kind of like the Odyssey, you know, like, you know, you don't need to retell it, you know. I don't know. You know, I mean, it can be retold in this format, you know? That's the thing. It's this big, grand adventure without being like, you know, like 1,000 pages long, you know? It's just 13, 24-minute episodes, you know? That's the thing about it, is that you can just watch it in like 5 hours, right? I don't know. have I gushed enough about it? It's a place further than the universe, man. Yes, it's a great show. Anyone who appreciates those types of stories with those types of teams, should probably go and watch it. And I think I spent like, a good almost 20 minutes talking about it. So, yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, and it's all right. My recording is already over an hour long. So I think I spent like up to 20 minutes talking about it. So, yeah. That's basically what I got out of A Place Further Than the Universe. Yeah. Any final thoughts on it? Any small detail I like? Yeah, it would just be spoiling the show. Yeah, I don't know. I think I gave enough like detail. Hopefully, if anyone is watching this who has gotten to this part and has watched all the way through to this, hopefully, you might be convinced if you haven't seen the series yet. It's like 7 years old at this point. It came out in 2018, so like, I don't know. It feels like it also in like the anime community space in general. Like there's lots of recency bias, It's like in terms of like what's popular, like Chainsaw Man, Dandadan, Spy Family are like, these are the hot series that everyone's talking about. Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, more also, right? It's like, but I don't know. You should take time to like, when a series like this comes along, I think it was like a subreddit favorite, it was an anime subreddit favorite, but I don't think it pierced that like bubble of like outside it. I don't think it transcended the anime community on Reddit. Really, like I don't necessarily think it did. And I think that also applies to series like Sound Euphonium too. Like I don't think they necessarily like pierce, like the bubble, the larger bubble, and like become like a part of like the anime viewing culture, like because there are shows that pierce through that, like I would say that what are some shows that have pierced through that are like slice of life oriented series? Haruhi, I guess. Yeah, because Haruhi was like one of the first like original ones, I'm spoiling stuff I'm spoiling stuff I could talk about. I already talked about Haruhi though, so yeah. Yeah, K-On! I feel like is even a series in that genre that's just even more popular. But yeah, in terms of just like dramatic stories that have like comedy in them, yeah, like A Place Further Than the Universe is top tier, man. It's like it is genuinely a brilliant show, man. And you shouldn't let the fact that one, it's an anime, two, it's an anime where the main characters are teenage girls. You shouldn't friggin' let that you shouldn't let that be a barrier in terms of your enjoyment. That's the whole thing. I don't know. It's yeah. Is there anything more I can say? Oh, man, I don't know. I'll look back on this and be like, yeah, remember this show inspired me to take that journey. It's like, where? It's like, to watch a Knicks game. I don't know. In New York City. Maybe one day. I don't know. Well, I'm trying to think of like a Western equivalent to this. Like, what is like a Western equivalent of like a story where someone is like, you know what? Screw it. Into the Wild? I don't know. I remember having to read that for senior year. Like, we need to read nonfiction, guys. And then I read it, and I'm like, I don't really get the point. But I get the point now, there's seeds of that translate to A Place Further Than the Universe, Instead of reading Into the Wild by John Krakauer and questioning like, who is this Chris McCandless guy? Like why does he think he's special? It's like, watch A Place Further Than the Universe, man. It's like, how like, you can read The Hate You Give in place of To Kill a Mockingbird, even though To Kill a Mockingbird's still like a really great book, right? It's like you can swap things out, man. You can, Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl in place of The Fault in Our Stars. In my opinion, I have to keep on, in my opinion, I put Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl high up on my favorite books list. So yeah, I give it my stamp of approval. It's not a guarantee it's going to get everyone else's stamp of approval. Even with a scene about oral sex. So, that's basically all I needed to say, right? Okay, I had the rest of the list to get to. Okay. There you go, I'm good. A Place Further Than the Universe, man. Just, give it a shot if anyone is still watching. Okay, number 22, right next to it, a classic from 1998. You might have heard of it, Cowboy Bebop. And yeah, I'm placing it this high. Like, yeah, just yeah, it's the same thing. Shichiro Watanabe, the aesthetic, just it's the OG, before Samurai Champloo, Space Dandy, his other series, Lazarus, right now that just aired, right? It's just mixing, space sci-fi with jazz aesthetics, like the OP, and like its episodic format. Faye Valentine is like this character, I really enjoy Ed with her eccentricities, the dog, just it being like, just all of the things about it, its style, like riffing, like the way it like portrays fight scenes of like Spike and him fighting, kind of like it's like improvisational the way he fights, like jazz, that's basically why it's a classic, this isn't like I'm only putting it up here because it's a classic. I do enjoy it, but I don't know. Like, I think it's like I'm giving it the benefit of if I rewatch it, then I really will truly appreciate the artistry of it, Like, I didn't enjoy it as much as Samurai Champloo. Samurai Champloo is probably going to be the series where I'm like, nah, I love this, as a story. But yeah, The Real Folk of Blues as the ED, also really good, It's all, I think it's just, I'm giving it like, it's the same thing with like a books on my book list of like, if I reread it, I probably will still think the same of it or even more highly of it. So there you go. Much shorter. Okay. Number 23, right next to it. Love Live School Idol Project. Oh man. This is a nostalgic one, man. Oh god. Yeah. Some people, I feel like a lot of people would say that Love Live Sunshine is the better series and the better format of like this type of idol show, but in terms of the Love Live series, a franchise, but I don't know. There's something about School Idol Project. Nico. It's like there's something about School Idol Project, that feels so special, It's not just nostalgia, it is just like I remember like watching Love Live School Idol Project and thinking it is just gonna be just cute girls become idols, but it's like no, it's like a serious story, like the way they get a group together and the way it has the goal of like, we as a group, we're gonna form a group, there's challenges in that, we're gonna learn to become idols, there's challenges in that, we're gonna perform, there's challenges in that, we like there's problems in terms of keeping our group together, there's challenges that arise from that, it's like episode after episode in like season 1, right? In like the 13 episodes, there's a big dramatic moment. Some could say it's just too melodramatic, but I don't know. I don't necessarily think so, because I think just the whole series like should be treated like it's a drama with like comedic moments, maybe not as dramatic as A Place Further Than the Universe, but just still dramatic enough, I think like the very first season of Bang Dream was like that, and that's why like I really enjoyed that series from season 1. It's like, I don't know, just learning about what school idols are, and like learning about how to form an idol group, and like the challenges, and like, oh, here's how to choreograph a dance, here's how to here's us like performing our first musical number, like it can look a little bit dated because it's from 2013, and like CGI in 2013 is not what CGI is in 2025. It isn't, but I don't know. I think there is something special about this. I mean, Love Live Sunshine is great too, but I don't know. There's something, Nico, about Love Live School Idol Project. It's also the thing that it's the first time that like format of the story was done. It like Sunshine somewhat repeats the format of the story template laid out by School Idol Project. It somewhat like repeats it, but there's more like, I think there's more like in-depth character drama with Sunshine than there is with School Idol Project. You know, like there's two seasons of School Idol Project and then the movie. And you might know, if anyone is somewhat aware of any anime related thing, there is a song called Snow Halation. And my God, is if that is not one of the best idol songs of all time. Like, like come on, man. Snow Halation, man. Snow Halation. Just look it up. Just, I don't know. Just look it up. Snow Halation, man. Just, yeah. And like the way they set it up of like, okay, we want to write a love song, you know, we want to write, you know, like, yeah, that's also what it goes into, right? Of like each member of the group has their different skills they bring. One person composes the songs, one person thinks up of the outfits, one person is the choreographer, the best dancer in the group, you know, like one person is the personality, you know. And like there's like an episode where like a character in the group is like, what do I add, you know? Like I feel like I don't add anything, you know, to the group, you know? I don't know. It's just a great series, you know. That's basically it. Yeah, School Idol Project, man. Yeah, also don't be turned off by the fact that it's an idol show, man. Please. If you do that, then I don't know what to tell you at this point. Number 24, right next to it, Madoka Magica. I feel like you might know the series if you've watched the hit HBO series starring a girl who was on a hit Netflix series called Everything Sucks. They say that like well, Jules says it, not you know, Cassie, but like when Jules said that and I was watching it and I was like just in the middle of just like, why do people like this show? I'm just like, okay, all right. But yeah, like Madoka Magica, it's like the genre of magical girl show has been around for a while. Sailor Moon wasn't the first one to do it, but it was the most popular one to do it. So, yeah, since then there's like Pretty Cure, there's, you know, yeah, just other stuff. Lyrical Nanaha, you know, is another one off the top of my head. There's a spin-off of like the Fate series, Fate Stay Night, called Prisma Ilia that I watched, where it's about where it's a magical girl spin-off of it. So like yeah, and Madoka Magica is basically, what if we do a magical girl show but make it dark and gritty and like really dramatic and really like, oh man, this is so grim and, you know, and so serious, and it works. It really does work. Yeah. Yeah, the OP is really good, you know, the visuals, it's by Shaft, which is known for like really cool visuals. They're behind Trigatsu. They're the anime studio that did Trigatsu and Nisekoi and like Hidamari Sketch back in the day. And yeah, the Monogatari series. So yeah, it's basically, yeah, it's again, too much, saying too much would spoil it. The sequel movie that came out after the series, Rebellion, has such a, oh man, like the moment in it with Homura. Oh man. Oh man, just that moment. Oh yeah, basically. Need to get through this a little bit. Do I? I don't think I need to get through it that fast. Okay, number 25, Psyche K. The Disastrous Life of Psyche K. This is up here, yeah, because of how funny it is. It is, you know, up there with Gintama in Excel Saga. You know, I guess not quite as high, but I still think of this as like one of the funniest animes I've watched. Just like the humor of it, you know? And like also watching it subbed, you know, I watched it subtitled. Yeah, I didn't watch it dubbed. And like the way that like there's so much dialogue happening at once, right? Like, yeah, it's about this teenage boy who's a psychic named Psyche K, right? And like his thing is that he has psychic powers, right? But his psychic powers extend to just being able to do literally anything, right? Like he has super strength. He can shrink himself. He can turn back time for some reason, because it doesn't matter, because it's mainly a gag comedy story, right? So like, yeah, it's that he has these psychic powers, but basically he's like super powered in all aspects. So, but he wants to be normal, so he intentionally tries to be the most average student as possible, and then he's surrounded by these characters who are tropes of themselves. He's surrounded by like, oh, here's the Genki girl, here's the cute freaking girl that no one can resist. Here is the guy classmate who's a chunibyo, which it means that like they think they're like the protagonist in a fantasy story. Like here's the dumb jockey character who has balls for a chin. It's like, and then it's like all about like witnessing them being wacky, and then him commenting, right? He like always riffs on like whatever they're saying and doing, whatever the people are saying and doing around him, and like he gets roped into like having to do stuff that makes him use his powers. I don't know. It's great. Yeah, it's it's a fun, really great comedy series. I've watched most of it. I think there's only like a few specials that I haven't watched. Yeah. All right. Number 26, Michiko and Hachin. Yeah. So this is a show by Manglobe, yeah, who did Samurai Champloo at first, and then Ergo Proxy, which is a really interesting show, from 2006. It has a really cool OP, Kiri by Monorail. Yeah, such a good OP, man. One of the best anime OPs. Just the catharsis from that, man. Yeah, the visuals of that, too. So this is the show they made after that. So after... in 2008. So Michiko and Hachin is about this girl, Hachin, who is an orphan. She's living at an orphanage. She hates her life, basically. She's being mistreated. And then there's this older woman who's a criminal who just escaped from prison called Michiko. And I think, I saw a detail. I saw something on Twitter, maybe, that said Michiko's design was based on the singer Aaliyah. Yeah, so basically, the cool thing about this anime series is that Michiko's like former like friend who also is like the basically like the warden of the jail, right? Or like is responsible for trying to catch her after she escapes from prison, is a black woman, right? And like, I don't know. The thing I noticed is that like the dubs, the English dub of this is really great, and I think this is how you should watch the series. You should watch it dubbed over sub, even though that I mostly watch series subbed. Yeah, like you should watch shows like this. Like every Manglobe show, you probably should watch dubbed in English. Maybe the world God only knows. Not that necessary, but yeah. Samurai Champloo, Ergo Proxy, and then this one you should probably watch dubbed in English. So it's about Michiko escapes from prison, and then she takes on, she crashes into the orphanage, and then her and Hachin escape together, and then they travel across what I think is Brazil. Like they travel across like some South American country that is supposed to represent Brazil, I think. And like it's like just really cool. You do not see that region represented in anime usually. And like it's an adventure story. It's like, it's a crime, it's a gangster story. You like when I was watching it, I was just taken, totally forgetting that I was actually watching an anime. It's really cool, man. Yeah, you should show it to I suggest showing it to people who are like, I've never watched an anime. Just ease them into it, man. It's like, and then they're at the end they're like, oh, I was watching an anime. Yeah. Yeah. It's this cool, like Michiko, like, is this, like, really, like, woman is this really, I don't know, she doesn't take things too seriously, and then Hachin is, like, always, like, criticizing her. They get separated at one point in the series, and then they reunite. They're always at odds, they're always bickering, and at the end they have to separate, and then basically like Michiko wants to find her like former lover, I think. Something like that. And then there's the woman who's chasing her, and then they're on the run from the police until the end of the series, and it's them running all across Brazil. There's all this varied scenery. Sometimes they're in small towns, sometimes they're in big cities. I don't know. Michiko and her motorcycle, the OP is instrumental. It's really good. But the ED, best friend, I really enjoyed the ED. I downloaded it. So it's basically that. Yeah, it was one of my favorite shows I watched in the year 2023. Number 27, probably the best or one of the best shoujo romances, shoujo series of all time, Fruits Basket. Yeah, I think, yeah, this is probably, I guess it's like both the original 2001 anime that's unfinished and also the 2019 version of the show, which actually got to complete the story. So, yeah. Yeah, it's one of the most read iconic shoujo manga of all time. So it's about this girl, Toru Honda. She starts off the series living in a tent, and then she finds this house of the Somas, and then they're part of the Chinese zodiac. And then when two members of the opposite sex hug a member of the zodiac, they turn into the animal, but it's not quite the animal. They're weakened, So like there's supposed to be like the dragon, but like instead of an actual dragon, they're like a sea dragon instead. They're like a tiny sea dragon. I think that's Hattori, the doctor. Yeah. And like Yuki's just a really small rat. And then Kyo is the cat, but was not invited to the Zodiac, the banquet. So he is an outsider looking in. He's not exactly a member of the Zodiac, and that plays a more important role in the story later on. Yeah. It's a nice role. I mean, yeah, I talked about it early on. How it deals with grief and and the importance of love, and how there's a lot of people are deserving of it, no matter what family circumstances you go through. The team of Fruits Basket is like, you can have a messed up family situation, but there will always be light. There will always be love waiting for you if you can tough it out. Maybe not tough it out, but like if you're if you can find it, it's worth it. Love is worth risking a lot for. So the whole thing is that the members of the Zodiac are imprisoned by this thing that it becomes a curse. It becomes clear that it's a curse, so they want to break it, and that's like the whole theme of the story. So I remember just reading it in a library that wasn't my local library, but yeah, I remember spending the day before Valentine's Day or Valentine's Day just reading it. I don't know. Number 28, another series I talked about recently, Your Lie in April. Yeah, do I need to talk about this more? I talked about rewatching it. Yeah, it's, yeah, I don't need to, I don't know. I guess you could just watch the episode You're Chokin' May if you want my thoughts on it. Yeah. It's about music. The OP by Goose House is really good. The second ED, Orange by Seven Oops, really great. Kaori, a tragic story. Probably don't have to worry about spoiling it. But yeah, it's about classical music, pianos, it being sad. Just stuff like that. Okay, there you go. Number 29, another show about music, K-On! And yeah, I don't know, it's about, girl, it's the OG of the show about girls in high school forming a band. But this one is the one where a lot of people say that it has no plot or no story, but the story is the four main characters, five later on, but yeah, the 4 or 5 main characters, playing into music club and developing a friendship, and it being sad when they eventually have to graduate. So yeah, that's basically it. They have lots of tea and cake. Moogie in her eyebrows. Just really funny. There's a freaking cutaway or something, a dream sequence where her eyebrows become pickles and they get picked off. Oh man, I'm sure I can talk about it in depth later on, but yeah, that's basically. Oh my god, I'm going by a lot of series I've talked about previously. Number 30, Paradise Kiss. Ayazawa, man. Do I need to say more? Freaking Yazawa, man. She all of her series. I'm going through Neighborhood Story right now. It's an 8, at worst it's an 8 out of 10 show, you know. It's I don't know, all of her stories are really good, man. I'm sure if I saw last quarter, you know, it would be also, I would think of it really highly. But yeah, you know, this probably for now is her second best series after Nana, you know. This young girl who gets involved with fashion and modeling and, like, you know, the OP, the ED by Franz Ferdinand, the OP by Tommy February, you know, when before it was Tommy Heavenly. It's just, I don't know. Have I talked more about just how much that fits? Oh yeah, and yeah, one thing I did mention when I originally talked about it, this anime series has transgender representation, man, because Isabel is a trans woman in the anime. So that's a really cool thing. And then there's like a whole episode going into her backstory and how she felt more comfortable in women's clothing, you know. I don't know. It's really cool. Just really nice that it was like a clear, like, transgender character, and there wasn't like any sort of joke of like, oh, here's insert word here that's maybe not the most respectful, you know. And that's the thing, it's nice, you know, it's really nice how there's like genuine like transgender representation, and like Ayazawa wrote a story that included, you know, a trans woman in it, you know, like it's not just like someone who's into cross-dressing, it is just someone who's genuinely, you know, I don't know, I guess like, who feels more comfortable like as portraying themselves as a woman, you know. So that's cool. There you go. found something different to talk about. Number 31, Tsukiga Kirei. Oh man, this is one of the best romances I've seen in anime, and it's only 12 episodes, I think 12 or 13 episodes. It came out in 2017, and yeah, I don't know, I think like it's just, it's I don't know, the connection between the two main characters is good. It's like it's somewhat a slow burn, but also not, because like the characters end up kissing multiple times in the series, like they get together before the series ends, right? And like, what really sells it as like one of the best is basically the ending. Basically the very end of it, and also the ending credits, because the ending credits just like flashes through the story of them as a couple, right? And you would think it's like, oh, really? That's what they're gonna do? They're gonna flash through their story? But like, it feels like, I don't know, it feels like it just adds to like how great it is. I don't know. And like at the very end of it, it shows like an image of them in the future, you know, like, I don't know, man, it's just really cool. Just, watch it, man. It's only 13 episodes. Number 32 on my list, right next to it, Hyoka. And part of an explanation of like why something is on the list is it's made by Kyoto Animations. This is a series about like trying to solve really small scale mysteries. The main character is a guy who does not want to expend that much energy on things. He wants to go through high school not really doing much, not really joining clubs and stuff, but he gets roped into the club where somehow they have to solve these really like specific like mysteries that aren't like someone was murdered or like, oh, my son went missing. It's just what happened. Like what happened, you know, one of the ones in the later parts of the series. One of the last things they do is like, oh, what happened to the chocolates on Valentine's Day, you know? It's just the characters are good. It's, you know, not too like off the walls comedic. It's the most like, I don't know, like comfy KyoAni show out there, you know? It's the most like, I don't know, like reserved, I guess, but I don't know, it's still really good. Number 33, Baby Steps. And next to Blue Box, like this and Blue Box probably are like the best like sports romance stories, you know? The romance in this series is so good. Like, I don't know, man, just the way like it doesn't give you that much, but like the stuff it does give you, it's like, it's like these two, the way like the girl and the guy in the series inspire each other. It's about tennis. I think I talked about it briefly at like when discussing my favorite anime of the year. Yeah, it's about this guy who initially wants to join tennis because he needs some exercise. Or yeah, he starts playing tennis because he needs some exercise. But he gets so into it, he's like, yeah, okay, I'm more into it and more into it. And then he gets roped in, partly because this girl is also into tennis, and like they inspire each other and uplift each other throughout. But it doesn't have much of them interacting throughout the series. But like in season 2, it has a little bit more. Yeah. And yeah, the romance develops in season 2, and it's great. It's just, yeah, even if you're not that into tennis, Wimbledon, shout out to Asimova, I guess, Iga Swiatek, who's going to win that? I don't know. Did someone win it already? Yannick Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz, Novak Djokovic. Those are the names I know. Yeah. Taylor Fritz. That's like the final 4. So yeah, shout out. I'm not watching Wimbledon, but yeah, I know it from watching Tony and Mike talk about it on PTI. Oh man. All right. Yeah, it's already 10:47, man. I said it wouldn't be this long. Yeah, that's basically all I needed to say about that series, right? Yeah, it's good. Number 34, Bloom Into You. Now, this also came out in 2018, and I watched it in 2018, so yeah. This probably, I don't think this was necessarily like the anime of the year for like most people, but it was like one of the best shows to have come out, It was like mentioned, it's like, this is a really good show that came out this year. And basically, it's the best Yuri romance series in anime of all time. No doubt about it. No question. None. 0. Unless you count Nana, but look. For now, you're like, yeah, maybe not for now, but like, in terms of something that is like absolutely no doubt about it, this is a Yuri show. This is a show about a romance between 2 girls. Yes. Here you go. I don't know. I wonder, yeah, did I talk a bit before about like how there was like discourse on Twitter, back when I talked about discourse on Twitter? Did I talk before about like how there was like women, yeah, I would think on Twitter, who are talking about like, it's weird how like lesbian stories, sapphic stories have to be all sad and dramatic, but like gay stories between 2 boys and 2 men can be like as happy and fluffy as they want, because you get like red, white, and royal blue, and like Heartstopper, Simon Versus on one side, and then on the other side it's like yeah, where are the stories that are kind of like that? It's basically somewhat, there was a sentiment of like, where is like the Heartstopper but for 2 girls? Like, where is that? And like the answer probably is in like a few YA books, I think like Rachel Lippincott, yeah, there's a book called She Gets the Girl. I think like, yeah, that could fit into it. You Should See Me in a Crown is probably more fitting of that, by Leah Johnson, Yeah, like that kind of fits, but yeah, like I get it, like the types of like women love women stories, sapphic stories aren't really like, yeah, like the popular ones aren't necessarily like the fluffiest, and like there was that show about like vampires, yeah, on Netflix that got canceled, and like I remember seeing like a sapphic Twitter account being like, why can't we just have this, man? Who cares if it's a quote bad show with bad writing? It's like, let us have like messy lesbian like characters on TV. Like, let us have like messy lesbian characters on like Netflix shows. Like, who cares? It's like, let us have this, please. There's like that kind of sentiment, but I don't know. It just makes me think like, would Bloom Into You, like, I feel like Bloom Into You, if you watch it, would count as like, here's like a fluffy kind of like sapphic story, I don't know. I remember writing about it in my blog post, if you can find it, of like, here are examples of representation, LGBT representation that, I liked, and stuff that I wasn't necessarily that big a fan of. And then I put Bloom Into You in the like category. So yeah, I don't know. I guess like people who have like expressed that sentiment, Bloom Into You could be like one of the things where it's like, oh, this is like a fluffy, like sapphic story, you know, that's cute, you know, nothing too serious. It's like, like everyone around us has died, like, my, you know, like maybe like Lena Liqueur is like a bit of that, of just like we all have such dramatic stories, you know, like you know, it's like, and we're learning to love each other. It's like, no, it's just a story about two girls, you know. Yeah, why can't there just be Heartstopper with two girls? Why can't there be, you know, yeah, why can't there be, you know, just a lesbian version of Red, White, and Royal Blue, you know? That's the thing, there are people writing it, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, please, yeah, I guess, like, yeah, Jennifer Dugan, Hot Dog Girl, you know, is one. She has an adult romance book, yeah, about weightlifting, I think. Yeah. I mean, you know, Ashley Herring Blake, who wrote Ivy Aberdeen's Letter to the World, you know, I don't think she's really necessarily remembered for that. Like, that's like not like the first book you mentioned when you talk about her now. I don't know. Is it? But like, I know her as like from the author who wrote, you know, Ivy Aberdeen, you know, she wrote more than just that, but yeah, it's like Delilah Green Doesn't Care. You know, I've seen that book a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just naming books at this point. It's, how did anime talk become book talk? I don't know. Anyways, number 35. Yuru Yuri. Okay, this is that show I was referencing earlier, of like a cute girl show that's like comedic. Its number one thing is to be comedic. It's about girls in high school having fun. And then it's the Yuri part is more than just suggestive at times, you know. I don't know. It's just a fun series, man. Like, I don't know. The more I think about it, I'm like, yeah, no, this is one of the best, like, just purely fluffy moe shows, man. I don't know. It's, yeah, not much else to say about it. Number 36, teasing Master Takagi-san. Have I talked about this? I think like way back in like when I was first watching it in like 2021. Like, I had a thing where I was gonna show like one of the funny scenes from it. Yeah, maybe I'll show it now. Just like how he misinterprets it, how he's like, no, I've got her, I know why you're not swimming, and then she's like, no. It's just, this girl Takagi is so good at teasing this guy, man. She's so freaking good, and they have such a nice romance, man. I watched 3 seasons of it. I watched a movie of it. You know, at the end of it, there's such a nice freaking scene that flashes in the future. Yeah, I don't know. Basically, yeah, watch it. It's the best example of like a girl romantically teasing a guy that's actually nice and sweet, you know. Yeah, there are other examples of it, but yeah. Number 37, probably one of the best harem animes. The fact that I have a favorite harem, I'm sorry, I do, okay, I'm sorry. You know, I don't know. Oh man, I don't know. Other people have a favorite twisted book. I'm sorry. Look, I haven't talked about book drama in a while. I'm somewhat hankering, but I'm somewhat not. I'm sorry. But yeah, the quintessential quintuplets. It's a harem romance series about a guy who's initially hired to be the tutor to a girl, but he becomes the tutor to all 5 of them. They're quintuplets. They all have different personalities. They're all really well characterized, really well written, you know. Yeah, it's good. I read the entire manga back in 2020 in a haze, in the quarantine days. It was yeah. It's a series. Number 38, a film. This got knocked down a few spots, but I don't know. I think I would still put it as like one of my favorites. Yeah, Your Name, a Makoto Shinkai film, and maybe I could put Weathering with You here because I also watched that. But yeah. I mean, it's like probably one of the most iconic like anime movies of all time that's like not a Ghibli, right? It's probably one of the first ones you mention, if you want to mention like what's a really popular anime film and like not a Ghibli film. I guess there's like Satoshi Kon's films, you know. There's like Mamoru Hosoda, like The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, or like Wolf Children. But yeah, I mean, there's the red, there's Red Tread, there's the image of like the girl and the guy looking at the stairs, you know. It's iconic. Radwimps, the soundtrack. You know, I don't know, I wonder, was this originally, this might be the second time I've talked about it. Yeah, no, I don't think it is. I don't think it is, but yeah, Radwimps. Man, that moment where like the guitar thing, where Zen Zen Zen, I think this is the song called, kicks in. Oh man, and it's like referenced freaking in freaking other anime now. That's how popular it is. God, yeah. It is, yeah, in terms of anime films. I remember watching it like the day before I started college. You don't ask me when that was. But yeah. Number 39, another series I talked about previously. Jesus. The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. Again, why I like it. It's made by Kyoto Animations, number 1. Number 2, Haruhi is a character. It's just, yeah, she's chaotic. You know, some people might not like it, but it's great. And also, like, number 3, like, just how, like, you know, somewhat different it is for its time, you know, just the fact that something like the Endless 8 arc was a thing in the anime, you know. There's this whole thing I didn't talk about previously where there's like a difference between like you should watch it in the viewing order rather than chronological order, but I don't know, man, it's like so messy. I don't know, man, just watch it as it's presented to you in Crunchyroll, man. Just watch it episode after episode as it's presented to you in Crunchyroll with you know, it's one thing. It's 28 episodes. Just watch episodes 1 through 28. You know, you might find like why does it end like that? But like, I don't know. I you know, I think, I don't know, just messing around with that. I don't know. But I guess you can look up what the viewing order is and just watch it anyway. But I don't know. Yeah, just the fact that there's that Endless 8 arc and that there's just these one-off episodes, you know. And just like, yeah, the side characters, how it's about like thinking that you want to find supernatural stuff, but like there's supernatural freaking things happening around you, but like Haruhi like can't like experience it for herself. She wants to find aliens, espers, future men, and like there's aliens, espers, future men / women in her own club that she creates to find these things, and she doesn't even know about it. And the one time that the main character brings it up to her, she's like, stop playing with me, stop messing with me. Oh man, just, yeah, it's cool, you know. I don't know, just like it's a little sci-fi, it's a little like mystery, you know, it's a little supernatural, but it's mostly like slice of life, you know, comedy. I don't know, it's cool. There you go. And number 40, Bakuman. Yeah, there you go. This is the last thing I will talk about, and I guess again I will save the other list I was gonna talk about for the next episode. I guess I'll leave that as the hook. Oh man. Okay, so Bakuman is about these two middle schoolers. Yeah, these two middle schoolers who have a dream of becoming mangaka. So yeah, the one guy makes Mashiro and Takagi, I think, right? Yeah, like, yeah, they combined their names. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, the one guy does the art, he draws, the other makes the story, and then writes the story, and then they team up. And this is reminiscent of the real life duo that wrote this series, Oba and Obata. Yeah, are their names. So Oba and Obata, you may know them for this other story they made, Death Note. You may know of that. You may have heard of that. So yeah, basically it's the same. Like it's a story of these two middle schoolers, and it goes through a long period of time. It goes through them from middle school to entering high school to entering college, and then dropping out of college to become full-time mangaka and achieving their dreams. And like there's like very light hints of romance, like Takagi, or the one who is in Mashiro, gets married later on in like late season 2, early season 3 or something. And like, yeah, I don't know. It's a nice series. I remember watching the seasons back to back to back in early 2020, man. I don't know. It was something. It was. I think I was watching it before the pandemic started, but yeah, like I was watching it through the pandemic. And there's like a Tommy Heavenly song as like one of the EDs, Monochrome Rainbow. That's really good. Yeah. Man, yeah, it's just, an inspiring story. It's about, yeah, trying to be a mangaka, and then you see all these people. There's this character, Nizuma Eiji or something, right, who's supposed to be like an XP of Eiichiro Oda, the mangaka behind One Piece, of just like how he's this hotshot freaking kid who's just cares about nothing else but freaking drawing his manga. Oh man, and it's about like the challenges of how can we make a series that's popular, and then getting forced into doing something that you don't necessarily want to do creatively, and like pivoting out of that. And there's conversations between various other mangakas in the story and their editors. There's one guy who's the editor, and he's somewhat in love with this girl who's the mangaka behind the shoujo series. Oh man, he disappears for a while, and then he comes back in season 3 with a beard. I just remember. It's so funny. Oh god, I don't know. It's fun. Yeah, it's fun. It's a nice story. The romance isn't that strong in it. It's not the main reason to watch it, but yeah, if you, I guess, it's like 74, 75 episodes in total. So yeah, I don't know. I just really enjoy it as a story of the underlying themes of what it truly means to be a creative person. The toll it can take on you, the toll that being a mangaka can take on you. If you look into that, right, of just how many mangakas have health problems. My favorite Ayazawa, has I haven't looked into the situation, but yeah, it's just she has some illness. It's a thing. There's a lot of mangakas who have health problems, more than most. More often than not. It's extremely taxing. It takes a toll, but they do it because they love it. They do it because I would assume it was challenging to get there in the first place, but there's a reason why they're still doing it. It's the love of creating, even if obviously you shouldn't risk your entire health on just being creative, but I don't know, that's the thing, considering just how taxing just business office work culture is in Japan in general, right? It's why not? There's somewhat of a reasoning of if you can make it work doing something that you enjoy more so than just corporate office work, then why not just do that? Yeah, that's basically my anime list, man. 21 through 40. I spent time talking about this, man. Oh, man, it's an hour and 50 minutes the recording. I spent a good chunk of it talking about a place further than the universe, so yeah. Anyways, that's basically all I wanted to say for this episode. Wow, look at that. I got to everything I wanted to get to. Yeah, so... man, next week, not next week, I do not make these weekly. Come on, man, what am I, man? Mangaka, man? No, not weekly, man. Next time I upload, which might be a week, which might be a month, who knows? I think it will probably be sometime in August, yeah. I think if I upload again this month, it will probably be other games. Probably be Lost Records or Life is Strange. I do remember that I need to get back to those series, so yeah. That's basically been it for this episode. It was fun talking about anime and the book I'm reading recently. I don't know, it's nice. I got to a lot of stuff. I think this outlining thing is working, so yeah. And it's nice that I didn't get to talk about basketball that much, because everyone needs a break. Man, I am mostly checked out of Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark discourse, man. It's you can do that. I'll be just paying attention to what Nikai Duncan says about the Golden State Valkyries, okay? It's fine, okay? Man, alright. Thank you so much for watching this episode if you've gotten this far. Yeah, and see you on the next one.